Hey, what's up guys? It's Chris and welcome back to Introduction to After Effects. So, last time we covered was the text tool, which we were just on, and today we're going to be covering is shapes and the pen tool, and making custom shapes like polygons and stuff like that. So, we're just going to create our composition today. And, so on your toolbar, you're going to see that there is a little square here next to the pen tool. You can highlight over that, hold your left click down, and you should be able to see that you'll be able to have all these things right here. So for now, we're just going to be working with a square. So when we click on the square, nothing's going to show up first. We're going to set the color. We're just going to keep the color to white. We'll be able to change it later within the actual shape. So we'll actually just keep it to white for now. And let's create our shape. So if you hold down Control, you'll get a perfect size of your shape, so it'll be perfect on the ratio. Alright, there we go. I'm not going to use actually I will turn on the action safe, so you can turn on your action safe and then center it. Alright, now I'm going to turn it off. Alright, so with this you got your little your square now is on the composition, so you have a square in the composition. To actually edit this square, change where you want it to be or change its properties, you should see this little triangle right here. You want to click on that, and then you should see maybe a couple things pop up. Not just keep clicking on these, and you should see the thing where it says contents or transform. We're not going to be working with transform just yet. We'll get that later into the course, but so under contents you should see rectangle, and you want to click on that. You should see a rectangle, path, stroke 1, fill, and transform. What we're going to be working with is the what's called rectangle path 1. Or actually, wait, no, not rectangle. Fill and stroke 1. Sorry. Let's start with fill. So with fill, this is basically your interior shape, all that white inside of this this boundary around the square. So we can turn all of that off. We can also change the color of it if we click on to fill on the tab burner. If we click this, undock it a little bit, you can check the fill, and you can also change the color on it. So if I wanted to change it to red, see how it changed the reds, and it's also live preview as long as you have the preview toggled. Make sure you have that toggled so you can actually see sorry to drink water there, but everything that you if you want another color. So we can change that. Let's change that to this little pink right here. I guess we'll change this to pink for now. And then to disable your what's called that interior color, you see the thing that says opacity. You can toggle that and make it go down and make it go to 0. 0, make it so nothing shows up, and then we can keep it at 100% for now because we're gonna want that. And then that's about it for this. You can change your blending modes on your shape 2 on here too. You can also toggle 3D too. So toggle, yeah. And so if you go up, you can close that now. Go over to stroke 1. So with stroke 1, you're going to get a little bit more sauce to it, you know what I'm saying? You'll get more stuff that's customizable, so as in you can get the stroke width and all that. But right now we don't have a stroke on it. So to enable stroke, we're going to go right here and slide this thing right here. It's going to add another barrier around your shape. And so we can also make this turn off too if we don't want it, or if we just want it to be partially there. So that's at like 71%. Yeah, looks clean. But we're gonna toggle that off, or toggle that on, sorry. And we're gonna keep that on 100%. And a cool thing that you can do is you can change the size of it using your stroke width or whatever. So we're gonna set this just to 50. That's what I wanted to keep it as. And then we can close that for now. Then we can go back into fill, and to make only the stroke show up, you go back into fill, set your opacity down to 0, and then you got this little outline of a shape, which is really neat. You can also change that because that's just your stroke. So if we go back over to here, we change this from 50 to 25. See how it's just a stroke. That's really neat. You can also, what's called later in this course, I'll show you to use keyframes, use the transform property under your layers. And so that's about it for like that shape. You can also do this for under any other shape on here. So if I go to circle, you can do the same thing if I hold shift or whatever. You get the point. It would do that. And so working with the pen tool now. So the pen tool is the thing right next to your shape. So it's gonna be sort of the same thing. You can change the color or whatever. Right now we're just gonna do let me think of a shape. A triangle maybe. We're gonna do a really crappy triangle. So oh, it looks so bad. Yep, there we go. And it auto fills in for you. You can also hold control on the points and make them bend a little bit. So if you want to make them more round or whatever, you can do that and make this thing go out a little bit. You can do that on any of the points too. Make sure you don't, what's it called, subtract them though. That would not be good. Yeah, you can also move them holding shift or keeping the same aspect ratio for the one on the right. Same thing applies for the other ones. We go over here, we will control. It's gonna ask us to subtract it. We don't want to do that. Pretty sure, oh, it's not letting me. Yep, right here. Okay, alright. Well, so right now I'm gonna be working with these points. So we can also adjust these points. So make this a right angle now. We can do that. Hold this other end down. Now we got a little right angle or right triangle going on here. So you can also change. Yeah, this will make it start curving if you go into the first point you start. So now it looks like a half circle, but for now we're not gonna have that. You can do a Control Z to what's called go backwards in what you just did. So we have a nice little triangle here. You can also do what's called like really cool, interesting circles with this too, if you want. Oh, I think I just might have made my thing freeze. Hang on, yeah, it's frozen. There we go. All right, and you can do really interesting shapes, I guess, if you're really gonna make something customized. Toggle this off right here, and yeah, that's about it for the pen tool, really. You can use this for masking too on things. So if I wanted to mask on so let's say if we had a thing of footage, we're just gonna say this shape is our footage, all right? And if I wanted to only show a certain part of this shape, I would make sure I'm selected on the layer of which I want it to be on. And I click this, and then set it like that. And then on the footage layer, that's a mask. You can edit that within the thing. See, now you can drag it out. You can edit that within your properties. If you click contents, and shape 3 would be your mask. So you can change that, add your stroke or whatever you want to add to it. Yep, see stroke. Let's change our width to, or our fill to 0. And look at that right there. There's some random shape. I don't even know what that is, but that's about it for the pen and shape tool. Thanks for watching. Peace.